Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're having a lovely Friday. I had to check that it was Friday before my partner got home from work. I was like, just making sure, double checking it is Friday. That's the kind of week I'm having. So I hope that you guys are all having a lovely week and you're a bit more organised and with it than I am. And if you can hear that noise, it's very loud. It's a helicopter going above my house. So I apologise if you can hear that. It's very noisy. We've had lots of helicopters whizzing around because we've had a bit of a, just straightening the camera, we've had a bit of a crazy week here locally. Well, not luckily we haven't been affected, but with some bushfires, and that's been pretty scary for those that have had to evacuate. But where we live, we can hear the choppers all go above where we live, so it's we hear them whirring about all the time. But yes, it's been pretty full on here, so I'm just fixing up this and waiting to see but letting my algorithm do its thing and let people know that I am going live, because I know that it can take a minute to do that. So I will just fix this. For some reason my computer does this weird thing to my little links when I go live. So hopefully it's all good. I can't see that anyone's watching, but I might jump in anyway because I can see one person's popped on. I was like, I can't see that anyone's watching, so I hope it actually is live in the right spot. But I think it... Hey, Renee, okay. I was like, I can't see that anyone's popped on. Hopefully I haven't done something stupid, like go live in a weird group or on my actual personal page or something stupid, because I wouldn't put that past myself. So hopefully you can hear me. Okay, so... Yeah, so the choppers have obviously finished for the day, so obviously that's why I can hear them above the house, because they're probably going back to base, but we have heard them constantly all week because Renee, honestly, I would not put that, I wouldn't put it past me. I'd go live in something ridiculous like, I don't know, one of my old uni study groups or something stupid. So I have got my coffee because I was going to have a nana nap before. I was on the phone to my mum and I said, I'm going to have a speed nap. I'm going to set my alarm for half an hour and have a speed nap. I don't know if anyone's ever done that before and if it actually works, but I didn't do it. So I can't say if it works or not because I didn't do it. I don't think I have what is it called? The strength to actually get up after the half an hour alarm went off. So it didn't quite happen. But I've had one of those draining weeks. So, and then I spent my afternoon on the phone to Medicare. And I suppose the people that watch that aren't from Australia, Medicare is like our medical public insurance, I don't know how you describe it, when you go to have a medical appointment and have to get a rebate back. And oh my goodness, it's not Medicare's fault. It is my neurologist. Not my neurologist either, it's the people he works for. They never submit Medicare claims properly and they always use the wrong item codes, and I still haven't got a claim back properly from August last year. It's so frustrating, and that's how I spent my afternoon. And so, yes, I needed a nana nap, and more than a coffee. So, for those, I'm not going to talk Medicare. For those that don't know, I never talk about the calendar, but I do have a calendar. If you want to know what's going on and what's coming up and all of the deals with anything that I'm up to, I always have a calendar on my business page. So if you go to, this page here that I'm live on, it is pinned to the top. So you don't have to surf through posts. You can go to the very top of my business page. Or if you're on YouTube, head over. It should be linked on YouTube, my Facebook page, if you're watching the replay, and it's linked up the very top of my Facebook page every month, and it will have, hey Leanne, this is always linked at the top, and it will have my host code for the month. It will have anything that Stampin' Up are doing for the month, as well as whenever I'm going live, and any tutorials I'm offering, hey Megan, and anything else, which, by the way, the crafty kits and happy hour that I do it doesn't go live on this main page. It goes live on the VIP page, but the VIP page is open to anyone. Demonstrators, you don't have to have ordered through me. It's just a page that I've got as a bit of a community, so anyone can chat on there, and it's by join only. It's just so people feel like a community and you can chat. You don't have those bots and weirdos coming to join in on the conversation. That's why it's join only, because we don't want those weird fake profile people. So yes, I thought I'd mention that. This is up the top of the page and you can find that every month. But I don't want to hold you too long talking about Medicare frustrations and all of that business. I'm just making sure I've got my lights on because it's getting dark early. Elijah said that this morning. He was like, Mum, the dogs were on the bed because Adam was on night shift. So Elijah was in the bed and the dogs were doing their usual 6:30 routine. And he said, no, he said, what time is it? And I said 6:30. He goes, 6:30 at night? I said, no, 6:30 in the morning, because the dogs jump up every morning and do their little ruckus thing. And he goes, no, it's not. It's not. Ask Siri. I said, no, it's 6:30 in the morning. I asked Siri. He goes, why is it still dark? I'm like, because we're getting towards like the colder months. But yeah, I think that's my feeling today. Cold and yeah. So I had a play with, and it was a semi-quick and easy card today. So it's not an elaborate fun fold. I apologise because I have had one of those weeks. So it's not a super, super fun fold. But I had a play with the little, which I have already had a play with this, but I can't share it because it's for Stamping Fancy Friday. So the Artisan alumni, I say alumni group. So I had a play with it for that one, but I wanted to dig it back out again and have a play. So for those that haven't seen, hey Jenny, the online, this is the point I'm at. I've got no words. The online exclusives. Oh, Renee, you were totally going to. I had a play. Hey, Renee, I had a play in the 20 minutes before I went live to see what else I could do with the dies, and I only hit the tip of the iceberg, and I was having a load of fun. And then I had to stop because I realised I was making my desk really messy and had to clean. So the 6th of March, these went live. So this was the bunch of online exclusives, which I have linked in the video description, a PDF, which will link and open up, because these are online exclusives. So they're not in a catalogue, but you'll have to go to the online store. But in the video description, I have linked a PDF, which if you click, you'll be able to open a PDF, which will show them all the products in a PDF version. So this is I'm going to move all of this for a second. This is the stamp set, and it comes with this set of dies. Now, to be honest, it doesn't, like, on first thought, it doesn't look like much, but when you start playing with it, wow, there's so many things you could do with this. I just had a quick play and then I was like, wow, actually there is so much you could do. So it has the stamp set and the dies, and then it also has this cool ribbon, which is a polka dot, like Hessian type ribbon, but I'm loving, and I did it on this card. I love to fray ribbons, so you sort of, you just pull at it and then get a thread and pull it apart. I love doing this. But then you cut, surprisingly enough though, when you pull this apart, you actually, the polka dots sometimes stay, but you can pull it apart and make it look messy, which is kind of fun. Or the other way that's fun to use it is a faux bow. So to keep the polka dots, sorry, you'd have to do it Anyway, because it's quite thick, if you tie a bow, you're going to end up with a big knot in the middle. So you're probably best to go a flat faux bow. So folding it over and then crisscross and have it so you're actually just having a flat middle, if you get what I mean. So you're best to have a flow bow. Oh my gosh. And then the embellishments that come as part of this suite is these really cool swirl, what are they called? Adhesive back swirl dots. So they look like a like the coffee. Fold your right hand under. Oh, we will do that in a sec. Now you've got me curious, and I'm going to muck it up. Okay, so fold your right hand under. So Megan, this is one of those things that my medications sorry, yeah, I shouldn't joke about that. Is that what you mean? So then you get the two polka dots in the bow, and then these are at the bottoms. Turn it over now. Oh, Megan is right. Okay, she's right. That's so cool. Then you get all the dots. Megan, you're a genius. That is so cool. Yes, do a faux bow. Then you get all the dots. That is so cool. And how cool would it be if you tied linen thread, like, why have I lost all my linen thread? No, there it is. If you tied linen thread around the middle as well and had like another bow, you could go like really to town with this stuff and have more linen thread. I'm totally thinking of Tammy from the Artisan team, but have more linen thread coming down. Oh, delicious. Yes! Megan and I are on the same wavelength. Sorry, stop it, Kayla. Then the other thing that comes as part of it, I think I might have shown this actually. I seriously feel like it's really dark in here. So I've cut into these sheets. So I think I'll leave those ones because there's double ups. So it comes with Renee, that's funny. So this one here, this paper here matches with one of the dies. So you can cut, you don't even have to fussy cut. You can cut out both the outside of that as well as the inside. I feel you've made swaps with this, haven't you, Megan? You can cut the center out as well. How amazing is that? So cool. And then the back is these little cute things. Now, I'm not going to do like a full-on paper show because you would have seen heaps of this anyway. But the cool thing about the coffee beans is every single coffee bean on this paper cuts out with a die. Like, that's insane. They do line up. I'm just being lazy. You can tell because I've cut some out. And then there's this plaid design as well. And then these ones don't cut out with anything, but you can fussy cut them. I think this might be Lost Lagoon, Calypso and Petal Pink or something, and Lemon Lolly. Did I just read that right? You used the cup stamp and coloured 30 of them. Wow, you go. And then I love this. It's like a swirly background with that latte art. And I'm using this one today. And then there's like a Calypso coral with some coffee beans. I love this pattern. So, I mean, to be honest, I reckon these two patterns are probably my fave. That's me. Okay, so that's the pattern paper. Now, the theory for my design today was actually because I wanted to do, I've seen this card floating about and you probably would have seen it too. I thought it was a great one. Even though this uses new stuff, I thought this was a great one for using up. Lol, Renee. Yes, you'll need it. This is a great one, even though I'm using it with new stuff, to use up designer series paper because we are going to get a new catalogue in May. I hope I said that right. I'm thinking because I think demonstrator dates, but as a demonstrator we can pre-order in April, but as a customer, you'll be able to order from it in May. So I'm thinking in terms of, okay, the paper is going to be retiring. That's in the annual catalogue soon. So I was thinking of a design where I'm going to be using designer series paper. So I wanted to do a card front with designer series paper. So that is why I came up with this design, because I thought the card front is designer series paper. And you could go and make, I know, Megan, I'm so excited. Oh, thanks, Renee. We, as demonstrators, get to see the new catalogue next week, because I am heading to Melbourne, where I get to go on stage, which is a demonstrator conference, and we get to see a peek at the new catalogue. And that's why I want to use up some stuff now. I'm being good, and I'm going to try and still use the annual catalogue. Sorry, I'm enjoying my latte. So this catalogue, now I've got catalogue stuck in my head. So you can see here, it's actually got a fold. So this is called a corner flip card or a corner fold card. And I thought it was a bit fun to use up some designer series paper. So I had fun using it with rose gold, because when I thought of the dies, now I was trying to think of the fancy name of them. I know this is called a French press, I think, but this one is a carafe or a coffee pot. It all sounds really too fancy for me. I'm just like, I'll have my coffee, I'll have my latte in a mug, thanks. But yeah, I think, although I know that coffee out of French press tastes amazing, especially with freshly ground beans. But when I was thinking of these, I have seen amazing ones when you go into the house and those amazing stores with the beautiful ones that come in rose gold, like with the rose gold fittings. And in the annual catalogue, we have beautiful rose gold foil. So it isn't actually one type of rose gold though. So I wanted to get it out. It probably is reflecting like crazy on the camera. But there is actually a matte rose gold, and this one I would call a holographic rose gold, if you can see that there. And this one is just kind of a standard foil. Oh gosh, you can see all my chins. And so yes, there's 3 types of rose gold in that pattern, but in that paper pack. So I thought, I've actually used 2 on this one. So I used the matte rose gold and the standard rose gold on the little die cuts there. So I really love the combination, especially with the pink. So that's what I used for this one. But before I show you that, I wanted to show you the quick play I had before I went live. So I thought I would see what else I could do. So the card I made used the coffee pot. I know, Megan, I should pull out all the cards I have made recently and do an I Spy, because we can all cry together, can't we? If it's retired, can we all cry together? I made people do it when the gold glimmer was retired. Yes, so I thought that I used the coffee pot or whatever it is on this one, but I then made the same with the French press. Now I have put the coffee behind the vellum, but you could also put it on top. But what I did was I actually adhered some adhesive sheet on top of the coffee, or the coffee piece here. So it all got adhesive on top, so it didn't look so obvious, because when you're using vellum, it's quite hard. That's all right, Sue. I hope your grandson's having fun at his football. Yeah, so I applied that, because obviously with adhesive, it's hard to add when using vellum. But then I also did colour one as well, and Megan's saying she did 30 of these for her swaps, which is insane. But I didn't stamp it in Memento ink. I actually stamped it in Lost Lagoon and coloured in Lost Lagoon stamping blends. So when you use stamping blends, often we use Memento, but you can actually use any colour of our stamping classic ink pads, because they're water-based. So you can use whatever you like with those. So I did Lost Lagoon and coloured with Lost Lagoon as well. So I just had to play with those. And the cool thing is I stamped that, but there's a little piece here as well which stamps the coffee, the little inner coffee part too as well. So that was really fun. So I did a little bit of stamping as well. And then I thought I stamped this one, and then the inner part here, which you've got two types of the coffee art there, I stamped, or I just heat embossed this one in white on some Melon Mambo. I think my computer screen did flash. Am I still here now? Hopefully it did flash. So, and it came back, so I'm hoping it's still here now. I'll give it a second. The boys are both on their games. Okay, all good. Yes, so I heat embossed this in white on Melon Mambo, and then using the dies, I have just cut the shape out with this. I should probably put that on the glass. I've just cut it out with this one, and then I did the latte piece, and I have coloured, I stamped that in crumb cake and added a little bit of, what's the colour? Pecan pie with a blending brush, and then I cut that out with the small circle one. And I added that on top with a Stampin' Dimensional. So the actual coffee piece is, the foam piece is actually more, running out of air, goodness. That's actually dimensional on top of the cup. And then I thought about it, and I thought, I wonder if I could do that the other way. So what I did was I heat embossed the cup again, this time on Berry Burst, and I cut the cup again, but I cut it cutting the circle out in the middle at the same time. So I got the whole shape seen through the cup. And then I cut the cup again, but not stamping it. I just cut the cup in white. And then I traced the inner circle with a pencil so I knew where to stamp. And on that white piece, I stamped the latte art and then stamped a sentiment. And what I did was I adhered my rim piece with those foam adhesive strips, which are these ones here. And so I could adhere my little coffee cup piece all on 3D. So that was a bit fun. It was like getting 3D cups, and it was just another idea to use them. So I got sort of 4 different ways of using it really quickly, and I could think of tons more. I just had to come and go live. So I thought of doing other things as well, but I can't wait to have a bit more of a play because there's loads more things that you could definitely do with these. And it's a really, really fun set to play with. I want to do some rainbow because quite often when you get the papers, so the papers are Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, your browns, a bit of Lost Lagoon in there. So your brain gets stuck in those colour combinations. So I really want to do some rainbow cups or like some really colourful things. And go outside of what the sweet sort of lets our brain think it's meant to be. So definitely what I recommend doing is putting the designer series paper to the side and pulling out some different colour combinations and working with it. So when I pulled out the Melon Mambo to use the cup, I thought, wow, I want to play with some really bright colourful cups. So that's my next idea. So I'll put these to the side. This was just my quick play with the different dies and stamps, just to see what I could do quickly. So let's get started on the actual card. Now I've chatted about how much I love those dies. So I have got in front of me though, I do have the measurements, and I have started on the PDF, which I will have out probably tonight or tomorrow. And I do have imperial measurements as well as metric. I just have this in front of me, so I know what I'm doing in case I have to recut something. So I do have this ready to go. Okay, so I have got, I won't get that out yet. So I've got a Petal Pink card base, and I don't know about you, but I never use Petal Pink. I don't know why, it's just not a colour that I tend to use. So I have got my petal pink. I'm just going to turn one more light on. Hopefully that's okay. I know I'm going to get a bit of shadowing. Yeah, I'm loving the depth of the cups. So I've got my petal pink card base and I'm having it this way. So normally I do cards that go, what are they called? Hot dog? Is it a hot dog card? But I'm going this way because I want my fold to fold down. So we need it to go that way. Then I've got a piece of basic white thick cardstock. And that one is cut to 14.3 by 10 centimeters. And which will be I won't read out the imperial measurements, they're on the PDF. And then we're going to have a piece of the designer series paper. You could use with whatever designs you want. And that one is 14.1 by 9.8. So they're the pieces that you will need for the front. But before, what we're going to do first is we're actually going to get our corner fold scored so that we can cut these and get the front fold started. So what we're going to need to do is bring in our trimmer. Just going to pop all these to the side. I had a disaster the other day. I've got my coffee just here and I spilled water everywhere. Okay, so I love our trimmer. Our trimmer is so good. But what we're going to need to do is open our card. Now I've got a mechanical pencil. I love my mechanical pencil. It's so handy for doing things like this. But I'm going to need to mark my card on this side of the card here. So we've got the middle of our card here and I want to make a mark on this side. So it's easiest if we open our card and pop it in this way. So we've got that edge of the card flat to the top. So I want to mark my card at 5 centimeters. Of course, you could do this with a ruler. I just find it a lot easier to do it in my trimmer. So I'm going to make a mark right on that cutting edge here at 5 centimeters. So you just want a mark, just so you can see it, which the mark for just need, because you can rub it out afterwards, but I'm pretty sure, I haven't got the imperial measurement in front of me, but I think it might be 2 inches or something. Okay, so once I've got that, I'm going to line up the middle score, the middle score line with that mark we just made at 5 centimeters. Now I'm going to make sure they're in that score track, which is really handy with this trimmer because you can see it right in the middle line of that blade there, or not the blade, sorry, the ruler track. And now you want to make sure you're using your grey, if you're using Stampin' Up! Trimmer, you want to make sure it's the grey scoring blade, definitely not your trimming blade. Now once you've got that done, it should look like this. Now we can move the trimmer out of the way for it just a second. We will need it back. Once that's done, you don't really have to rub that pencil mark out because it will be folded down anyway, but that's fine. Now I'm just going to fold this one down. I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure that's a nice crisp fold. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do is bring in our white piece that we've got for our front, which is the 14.3 by 10 centimeter piece. Oops, I've got stuff everywhere. Oops, I just realised I need to mark it first before I trim it. Now, to get our size for this piece, it's kind of a bit of an odd way of doing it because you do have to use a pencil a fair bit and eyeball it, so it's kind of a bit odd. But what you want to do is you want to place it up against this top corner and the sides here. You don't want to worry about this side, the bottom side and the left hand side, and you want to leave about 2 millimeters or a 1/16 of an inch if you're imperial. And once you've got that, I'm trying not to get my head in the camera either, but you want to make a mark. Once you've got that lined up nicely on both the top side and the right hand side, you want to make a mark just above the score line on that top flap. That's not flap. That top corner fold. So you should have 2 little marks, if you can see them, just that look like that. I've lost my words today. Today is the worst day to do a live where I'm trying to teach you something. Okay, so then once you've got those, now this one here will not quite be in the corner, by the way. So you want to make sure that you're getting that lined up nicely. So I'm going to line that back up with that trimming channel, trimming channel. Oh my goodness. Megan, when you see me next week, you're just going to have to go, what was going on? So you should have something that looks like this, trimmed off. Okay. So then you'll have a piece that looks like this, but you'll need to flip that over so it looks like that. Now, if you put it on there to check out how it fits, if it's slightly too big, you can trim a little bit off, but that one fits perfectly fine. Now, if you get a bit that is, sometimes in my, when I trim something, I get a little bit of a raised bit. What I do is I actually just run my bone folder over the top to push it down. I sometimes get that with my blade, when I trim. So that is totally fine. Now what you'll need to do probably is push this up here, and you'll need to trim a little bit off here. Now trim it off this top edge, because this will not be nicely square because you've taken this bit off here, and you will not have a nice edge on here, plus it's slightly too big. So you want to trim a little bit off. Now this is eyeballing it, but I like to just take a little bit off. The flap is also going to fold over the top of this, so you're not going to see all of it. Okay, so that's going to go like that. Now we want to measure our designer series paper. So to do this, all we're going to do is place it, leaving a nice edge on the bottom and the left and right hand side. So we're just placing it there, we're not sticking. Now hold it down with your fingers. These, like, it's really not technical the way you do this card. It's a lot of just guessing, adding pencil marks and cutting. Now, what you want to do is, using a pencil, add a tiny mark just below the edge of that cut mark there. And the same on the other side. That will give you a mark of where to cut this piece of paper. So we'll pop that back in the trimmer and line those 2 pencil marks up and make a cut. And now that should fit nicely there. Beautiful. Hey Rebecca, how are you? Did you have a good birthday week? Okay, so now this should fit in here. And then we should have one that fits there. Now, technically this here could have been used for here. If you wanted to use the reverse side, it would need to be trimmed down, but I don't want to use that side, so I didn't want to use that pattern. So we're going to use a different piece. But I have got my piece cut wherever I've found that stash of paper that I shoved somewhere. Okay. So I've got a bit of the rose gold foil, which I just love. So this is the matte version of the foil. Now this piece here is cut smaller because obviously if you had it cut to the same width, you'd have to do a lot of trimming. So this piece here is cut to 4 centimeters by 9 centimeters. And we're just going to cut that literally diagonally. Anne, I am from Australia. I'm not sure if I have captions on for Anne. get captions for your audio? Anne will have to let me know if captions are on. I'm not sure if they are. Hopefully they are. Because I know last time I meant to ask Kylie if she knew how to add captions to a video when I was already live. And I'm not actually sure. Oh, you got it. Yay. I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know how. I sent it way too late to for it to get there actually for your birthday, Rebecca. I'm so glad that you got it though. Okay, so I'm not sure how to check the captions, but okay. So this piece here, to get the, this was important because I kept stuff out. I'm like, what am I doing? So this piece here needs to be cut diagonally, but it will need to be the same shape as this. So you want to make sure that you're cutting it in this direction. So you want to start and cut, making sure you have the big, the big fat bottom end here. So you want to cut, not cutting it this way because that will not work. The reason it wouldn't matter if, okay, she's saying no closed captions. I need to learn how to do it for Anne, and I honestly am not too sure. There must be a button, but I'm not. It says there's a button that says add captions, and honestly, you'd think it was one. Turn on auto-generated captions. Oh, did that work? And you'll have to let me know if that worked. Yes, you'll have to let me know if that worked, Anne, because I pressed a button and I'm hoping if that one worked. I'm not very good at okay. Good. I'm not very good at technology. Okay, sorry. Back to where I was going. You need to cut, so it will not work that way. It wouldn't matter if it was designer series paper because you can just flip it. But because this is one-sided and it's foil, if you flip it, you're just going to have a plain bit. So I need to make sure I'm cutting the same direction. So, oh, now I've lost my mind. Okay, so not really that hard with me. So, okay. So I need to start here and end here. So I'm cutting it, I'm lining it up in that track. And it's actually better to start so you don't wreck your foil. It's better to actually start halfway and then go up. So that's going to give you the nice piece there that will fit on that flap, and it's a nice bit of foil. Now what I found though is when I did this, sometimes you have to, like, I found I had a bit that I wanted to trim, so I found it easiest to stick it and trim it. I know that some people probably find that a bit risque, but I tend to live on the risky side. I just liked it when it didn't move when I was trimming it. I know that's taking a bit of a risk, but you can trim it before you stick it and not be as risky as me. And now that captions are on, if you're still there, I'm from Australia. So I am in Tasmania, down the bottom. And that's because it's a little bit on the wonky side. I'm going to get my guillotine. Oh my goodness. I go live and leave the boys to manage, you know, the house while I'm live, and the dogs have been left outside. Oh my goodness. Well, actually, it might not be my dog's. Yes, it is my dog's. Okay, okay, so that gives me a nicer edge. You'll get a different result each time because you are eyeballing it, and so you'll get different measurements slightly each time, but it just takes a little trim. Okay, so now we can stick these pieces down because we've done the hard bit. We've done the measuring. So seriously, that's the hardest bit of the card. There's just those couple of measurements, couple of pencil marks, and that was the hardest bit. So it's not actually too bad. You just do a score for your fold, and you've got those two pieces which you have to grab a pencil and just do a couple of measurements, and that's it. I'm glad I learned how to add captions because I know that I've been asked quite a few times by a few people, and I've never known how to do it. I can't wait to see you, Rebecca. I'm so excited. Okay. Now I've stuck that bit onto my flap, and then I can stick the flap piece down because I know that's going to go there. Now I'm going to, oh goodness me, I'm going to stick the flap. Now I'm not sure if everyone, like all these cards I've seen online, I'm not sure if they were all stuck down with dimensionals, but I love a good dimensional, so I'm going to stick mine down with dimensionals. So I've just stuck that flap down there. Now I'm going to stick the inside in first before I decorate these outside bits. So I've got my piece of, oh, wow, you've really got to count down on Rebecca. Gosh, I'm not organised at all. I need to get my bum into gear. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of stamping because I thought I'm doing the die cutting on the outside, so I thought I'd do a little bit of stamping on the inside because these, obviously you get the cool stamps, but you also get the die cutting with this bundle. So I have got one of the coffee cup stamps, and I'm going to, I need a new Calypso Coral ink pad. I've been slowly replacing some of my older ink pads, and I didn't realise until today that that was looking a bit sad. So I have stamped just the outside of the cup in Calypso Coral, and then I'm going to stamp my little coffee latte art in a mixture of crumb cake and pecan pie. I didn't do the original like this, but then I realised when I was playing around before that I actually prefer doing it like this because the crumb cake on its own was a little bit too dark for my liking. Plus I just like to make things too complicated. Pretty. I'm going to colour this in, but when you're working with blends and it is a water-based ink, you're best to let it dry for a second. So I'm doing the additional stamping while I give that a second. Oh, you've got it. Brilliant. I'm on leave every day, but that's really not, I shouldn't say that. I do miss my job. So I'm going to, oh, should I be that perfectionistic? Is that a word? The coffee splats with pecan pie. I'm just stamping a couple. Okay, so now I can get my Cajun Craze and Dark Pale Pink blends. I also realised that I need a new light Cajun Craze marker, so this will be interesting because I was really pushing it to get some light Cajun craze out of here before. Oh, not Cajun craze, what am I saying? Calypso coral. But I added the petal pink to really to really make it work. I was like, no, I'm going to do my best here. Because I'd already started. I couldn't change colours, so really you would think I would change colours with this sample, but no. One would not be that smart. I wonder, sometimes I find that there's ink. Oh, that's not looking very nice, is it? Just buy a new blend, for goodness sake, Kayla. So if anyone's watching this, seriously, there's people in here now. If anyone that's watching the replay or wants it, I did see a video, you cannot refill these. That the Stampin' Right markers I do refill, but these you do not refill, you just buy a new one. Because these are alcohol markers. And what are they? Like, are they $15 or $15 to $17, I think, for a set of 2. I do use them a lot, so you know they get a good life. I saw a memory come up on Facebook the other day of when I very first got my stamping blends, because I wasn't around when blendabilities were a thing. Like, I knew Stampin' Up when they first came to Australia, but then I didn't stamp. I didn't buy anything for years because, you know, I was off doing the young adult thing and working as a chef, and, you know, didn't have time for any of that stuff. But so I wasn't around when blendabilities were a thing, but I was a demo when stamping blends first came, and I saw the memory come up the other day of when I was very excited. So just going to add in some petal pink, which is sort of a bit more orangey, I don't know. Gosh, the boys are loud when they came. You guys always say you can't hear them, but I can. Bring on next week, girls. I'm excited. I'm losing my voice. I might be able to talk it on stage. I'd say why I'm losing my voice, but, you know, people watch this video. That made no sense, but, you know, people may, well, I don't know. I'm talking in code. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Is that enough code? Okay. I'm just going to add back in some Oh, and saying there's no closed caption now. That's weird. You girls said it was working. I turned it on. Oh, I'm not sure. I tried. Okay. Stop adding stuff, Kayla. Seriously. I wonder if there's enough left. Oh, whoa, there is enough left in that marker. Okay, so I'm just going to add that onto... I wonder if she has to press something down the bottom in her settings to turn it on. Now it's available. I don't know. Okay, so I'm just adding that to the layer of petal pink. And something I found cute was adding Wink of Stella to the Latte froth, the white bit. That was really cute. And you know what? You can't have enough glitter. And then I'm going to add my glue and stick that to the inside. And voila, that's the base of the card done. And then now we can assemble. Now there was something else to stamp and colour, but I thought that I had some left over from the previous card. So I'm just going to quickly stamp on a scrap. I'm going to stamp one and show you how I coloured it, but I'm not going to cut them out to save time. So in Early Espresso, I actually stamped some of these little tiny coffee beans. Now, if you didn't want to stamp and colour them, you could use the ones from the Designer Series paper that I showed earlier. But there are these are two individual stamps, by the way. I've just mounted them on the same block, just for ease of time. So they are two individual stamps. Now, I used a combination of colours. So when they came out, I bought the whole Natural Tones set of stamping blends. Now, it would depend on how dark you wanted your coffee beans as well. I went with like really dark Early Espresso with my coffee beans, and then I thought I lost all of the detail in them, so I then decided to tone it down and go with some more lighter tones. So you can really experiment with how you colour the coffee beans as well. You could go darker, lighter, it's up to you. So I've just gone with, I would suggest using probably the deep, the deep to medium deep stamping blends, or even the Pebble Path, Pecan Pie. Any of those colours would look great with the coffee beans. Depends on what roast you like your coffee. I mean, do tell me, how do you like your coffee? I tend to have mine in between strong. I have it pretty strong. Like, it depends what mood I'm in and how naughty Elijah is. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it depends. I have been known to have a triple shot, so I can have it really strong. But yes, I've just dotted about 3 different browns into these coffee beans. So that's how I've gone in, but it does change colour as it dries. So it's very hard to tell, but I've gone around the edges. But I found if I went too dark, I lost, because they're very small, so I've lost the detail in the beans. So you want to kind of experiment there. It does lighten as it dries a little bit. But I'm wondering if my camera will pick up if I bring these right to the camera there. So that is my coffee beans. Now, they are on the lighter side, but if I found if I went too dark, it lost some of the detail in the beans. So that's the colour I went for. So yeah, I've just used a few different browns, but I thought I had some left over, so I would use those before cutting out any more. So let's put together this little coffee container. So what we want to do is pop, first I should show you how I've cut it. So these pieces here, it's very hard to see this one, but this one is a piece of window sheet. So I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it's a bit like acetate if you know it as that instead. But these dies that you'll need for this is one of these, and that is cut from window sheet. And then I have cut this die here from rose gold foil, and then this die here from rose gold foil, and then this one here from the Early Espresso. And then for the cups, I have gone and cut 2 cups from Calypso Coral, and then these tiny little pieces here is actually one die, and I have cut those from pecan pie. And what those tiny little, I'm wondering if I can zoom right in to show you this. That's about as close as I can get if I move these down. So what those tiny little pieces are is actually very hard to pick up. They actually go on the inside of these little cups as the coffee on the inside. How adorable is that? And then these little beans all have their individual dies to cut them out. So all of that has coordinating dies. So they're all the pieces that you need to have cut and prepped. I'll just zoom that back in. Okay, so I cut those ones ahead of time so that I wouldn't have to bore you with sitting and die cutting those pieces, but I'll show you how to put it together. So first of all, I'm going to grab my glue dots. I think my glue dots are fast becoming my favourite adhesive. So on the left hand side, I'm going to grab a glue dot because I know that I'm not going to see my left hand side, and because we are working with some see-through window sheet, I'm just going to place my coffee in there. So you can see the glue dot here, but that's totally okay. And then our little handle is actually going to go on there, but because it's on the foil, we can add, actually for ease of time, I'm actually just going to use the glue dots because then we don't have to worry about glue drying. So let's just go for it with the glue dots. Oh my goodness. She says as she glues it to the wrong spot. Okay. Okay, so there's our handle, and then just need to add some glue dots to the top lid because it's getting quite dusky and dark in here, and I didn't realise how blind I am. I struggle to see. Okay, so there's our little coffee pot. How cute is that? So the next bit we need to adhere is just our little bits of, actually, no, it's okay. I can do it. Listen to me. I'm talking myself into something. I'm just gonna add my little bits of coffee. I did add a little bit of Calypso coral. In. Now, I was watching the lovely Heather Thomas, I think, this morning, and she was using the small blending brushes, and I don't have any. I actually just use the big ones. After watching her this morning, I think I'm definitely going to oh, definitely. We will share lots of photos, Renee, and you will be there in spirit. We're going to miss you. So I'm just adding thanks for popping along tonight. I'm just adding a tiny bit of Calypso coral to the edges of my cup, and that just adds a little bit of dimension. Okay, so that's those pieces. I'm just going to clean that off, and then the last bit of stamping, I think, is just our sentiment, which I have got hello there, let's catch up, but I'm actually only going to use the hello there, so I'm going to trim off the let's catch up. I could mask it, but I'm being pretty lazy. I wonder if I could just not stamp the let's catch up. Oh, that worked. I just stamped it off the edge. use my finger to clean it. Okay. Now I'm just going to trim. I'm going to trim my sentiment down. And I'm going to get my scissors and just chop my sentiment. And because, you know, this glimmery paper just has to be on a card somewhere, it's not fair for it not to be featured. It gets upset if it's not featured. By the way, check out my pen, guys. Do you like it? I think it's cool. Oh my gosh, you broke your little toe. That sounds painful, Christine. I have broken a toe before. It hurts. So I'm just going to, I used some tear and tape so I could adhere that down to this one. It's a lot easier to do it that way. Okay, so I've got all of those pieces prepped. Now, the easiest thing I found to do was I did cut. I know I'm a bit of a weirdo, Megan. I buy useless objects sometimes. I know that I had a piece of this ribbon sitting on my desk, but you should see my desk right now. It's probably, you know, one of those things that you find afterwards. The dogs have got a whole toy box on the floor down here. I'm going to just cut another one, I think. Okay, so I'll cut it about there. Now, I am doing exactly what I said I love to do and tearing it apart. And I found the ribbon that I lost. I can see it now. Goodness me. Megan, how are you fitting all those swaps in a suitcase? I'm a little bit worried about fitting my swaps in a suitcase. Okay, so I tore them all apart, and then to stick those on, I'm going to just, I probably should buy some more Stampin' Seal, but I haven't done so yet. So I'm just going to stick a little bit of tear and tape. And I think this is cool because it adds a little bit of texture. And what I like to do is sort of pinch it a little bit in the middle. And what that does is makes them sort of fan out towards the ends. If you sort of pinch it. Okay. Then I have got my coffee pot, which I'm going to put a, gosh, I would lose, oh, that's a good idea, because then the swaps definitely won't get lost or wrecked. That's a good point. I'm flying Virgin for the first time. I don't think I've ever flown with Virgin. But they have slightly more baggage than Jetstar, which is nice. Okay, so I've put dimensionals on this side because that one will be hitting the Designer Series paper and this one is dimensional. So I'm going to just adhere that down and then add some glue dots underneath to those pieces just to help adhere that a bit more, and then you can fan that ribbon out a bit more. Okay, so then we can stick our sentiment down. I'm just going to actually stick the sentiment with some tear and tape. I'm actually loving tear and tape lately. You're flying with Virgin as well. And then that's if I make it to the airport. Oh, there's so many things. Oh no, I've got to be appropriate. Okay, oh, Leanne knows why I'm laughing. Okay, so I stuck that one behind on just a glue dot, and then I stuck my second coffee cup up on dimensionals. I'm getting distracted thinking of then I'm gonna stick my coffee beans. So I've stuck a little cluster, and I was trying to be careful with placement, thinking, oh my gosh, I hope they don't look like little nuggets of I don't know, poo. Trying to think of a polite way to put it. So it's hard to sort of arrange the little coffee beans sometimes. Sometimes it's easier just to like literally let things fall on a page and just stick them, or just to not think about it too much. I'm an overthinker. Oh, the doggies are crying at the door. They don't like it. They don't like Friday Night Lives because they're not in here. I would definitely have the door open if boys were not so loud. That is definitely Thor. Okay, so then I have got to add my little embellishments. Rabbit poop from the Easter Bunny. Oh, definitely. I'm surprised you can't hear Thor, Leanne. He's sulking at the door. He wants to come join. Okay. I will... He doesn't like being excluded. He's just getting loud. He can hear me talking about him. Now I'm just going to end up moving around little embellishments. Okay. And then it just needs lots of glitter, like every card does. I'm pretty sure that was all of it. So that is the corner fold card. So it was a relatively, I'm just going to push all that mess to the side so you can't see it. So that is the corner fold card, and I hope you can see now that is super pretty easy. That's really good English. So it's a couple of measurements. You just don't really need to eyeball. Get a pencil. You do your mark down your 5 centimeters or the imperial measurement, which I have got written down, and I've got all my imperial measurements here ready, so I'll finish off the PDF tonight and pop it up tomorrow. And then yeah, you can use up your DSP for your card fronts, and have a play with some different. I think it would be really cool to use the DSP and just have a basic feature. So this would look really cool with the zinnia set as well. So use some of the zinnia paper and have one of the little zinnia flowers up there. So if you missed the start, I showed some different things that you can do with the coffee dies and coffee stamp set as well. So making them 3D and using the French press and colouring them. So it was a lot of fun to have a play with it, and I have got so many ideas in my head for this one. So I definitely am making a rainbow card with the coffee cups. So because rainbows and colour is definitely one of my favourite things. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen, so this is the zinnia bundle, which also went live on the 6th. This one's already on back order. It will be coming back very soon, but that just goes to show how quick the online exclusives can go. So this one is also an online exclusive. So if you love the coffee set, do grab it because some of this stuff can sell out really quick. I'm in love with it, and I can't wait to have a bit more of a play. So I hope you did like the card I shared tonight. As always, I'll have the PDF up on my blog, and I'll share it here as I can. I will not be live next week because I will be in Melbourne with everyone celebrating and having fun and doing all the on-stage stuff. I can't wait because I haven't been to one since 2019. But I will have a video, so there'll still be a video, and I will share it to the page. It'll just be a YouTube premiere, so it'll go live and it'll be up there. And just a heads up, the video will actually be my on-stage swap. So for those going to on stage, you may actually get the card I'm showing next week because it will be the swap card. So yeah, that will be my my video for next week. So that will be going up same time next week. And otherwise, I will see you when I get back from Melbourne, and I'm sure I might even pop in and do a video and share some sneak peeks. So what we're allowed to share anyway. So I can't wait. I'm so excited, and thanks as always for tuning in and crafting with me, because it is one of my favourite highlights of the week. Even though I say, oh, I'm too tired tonight, I need a break, maybe I'll tell them I'll be back next week, but I always come in and drop in because I do enjoy crafting with you all. It's definitely one of my favourite things to do. So I will see some of you in Melbourne, and otherwise I will see you on the page, and definitely keep posting in the VIP group because I've loved chatting to you all and sharing this craft and hobby that we all love. So have a lovely weekend, guys, and I will chat to you soon. Bye.